Welcome to Test Kitchen Live. Happy July. We're so happy that you're joining us tonight. We're going to be beating the heat with some really fun recipes and products that are going to make you excited to be cooking all July long. So put in the chat, where are you guys joining from? By the way, a happy Canada Day, one day late for our friends in Canada. And we're going to be getting ready for the upcoming festivities, 4th of July, Independence Day, with these recipes. So if you need some inspiration, you've come to the right place. So again, put in the chat where you're joining from. My name is Sandy. I lead the culinary team here, and I love doing these fun demonstrations for you to get you excited about cooking more in the kitchen. And we also have Abby on the chat. Hey, Abby.
Hi guys, hi Sandy. I'm so excited to be here, and I'm watching the chat like normal. And if you're watching us on Facebook Live, click the link at the top to join us here in Zoom, because our chat is where all the activity's at, and we choose our giveaway winners from the chat. So later in the show, we'll be doing a giveaway, so stay tuned. We also have a handout for every event. It sounds like we may have sent the wrong handout in the Zoom registration email. So we'll drop that in the chat right now, and I know a few of you have already asked in the Q&A. So we're excited to get that handout to you. It has our recipes that we're going to be covering today and the products that we're going to be showing. So you'll have all that information there in just a second. I'll drop it in the chat. And we also have Q&A. So if you have questions, put your questions in the Q&A instead of the chat. It helps us organize it a little bit better. And we'll have questions that we can ask Sandy at the end of the show live. And at the end of the show, we'll have a survey. So we love making these events better and better for you every week. We would love if you would take our survey, and one of the survey participants will also be entered to win. Well, everyone will be entered to win, and one person will win the giveaway from the survey. So that's great. Lastly, if your notifications are going crazy, the chat's going crazy on your phone, you can click into the chat on Zoom, click the arrow at the top, and mute notifications so you can enjoy the show full screen. And with that, I'll hand it back to Sandy.
All right, let's get cooking. We are going to start with the strawberry basil galette, and then we're going to be making a white chocolate raspberry blended coffee or milkshake. You guys name it. I'm not quite sure what it is, but we're going to start with the galette. Galette really is a fancy term for really just a free-form, open-faced pie. It's okay that it's messy, so I kind of like galettes better because there's less pressure to be kind of perfect versus a pie. And we're going to be making it on our cast iron sizzle skillet. So excited about this product this month. Think about when you're in a restaurant and they bring you those sizzling fajitas to your table. This is what's going to help you get that job done. Also great for galettes because cast iron is going to be able to heat really hot and then maintain that heat, which makes for great fajitas, great crusts like pie crusts. I love this for pancakes. It's really fun. What else do I make on here? Like caramelized fruit, caramelized pineapple, we have a recipe for. So anything that you need that high heat, maintain the temperature in this nice flat surface. I'm gonna talk a little bit, well, I'll talk about it now. You can also get this pan with this acacia wood trivet as a set. Now, you kind of have to get the trivet, right? You got this hot pan coming from the oven, coming from the grill. This is also stovetop safe, campfire. You need to have a trivet. And how beautiful is this? It's reversible. So you can serve it like this, you can serve it like this. I like to keep one side for my, hot pans, and then the other side you just can keep for like a charcuterie, meat and cheeses, just a nice little platter. So keep one to use as a trivet and the other one to use just as a flat side. So let's get started. We're gonna start by cutting our strawberries. You gotta zoom in on these strawberries. How gorgeous. Put in the chat if you've been loving your juicy, amazing strawberries this time of year. I know I have. So this recipe calls for a pound of fresh strawberries. I also already sliced a few, but I'm gonna show you the rest. I'm gonna get started with my quick slice, which is pretty much a go-to if you love strawberries. I also have my cup slicer. These are two great products for the summertime with all that fresh produce. What I love about the quick slice is you can do more fruits in here, and then it also has this V-shaped blade. Can you guys see how the blade isn't just straight across? It kind of angles down into a V. And what this does is it helps to prevent it from smashing those softer foods like tomatoes, mozzarella, avocado. So you can even cut those soft foods without fear of kind of smashing them down. But here's my strawberries. So easy. If you've seen Test Kitchen Live before, I also like to use this to dice foods. Like you could dice an apple, you just put it in, rotate your food, and then slice it again. I'm not saying I'm not good with the knife. I'm just saying sometimes it's good to take the shortcut and just use the quick slice if I don't really want to take the time to dice something. Sometimes it needs that little rocking motion. It's so easy. We'll cut a few with the quick slice. Do you have your favorite, quick slice versus cup slicer?
I think I like the quick slice because I feel like I'm usually making
More things, yeah.
Yeah, but the cup slicer is more fun.
This is great, like think about when you're topping your oatmeal with some berries or just like a quick job, but you know, it's kind of addictive. Oh, look at that, done. Just put it on the base. And then in my bowl here, oh, I forgot to talk about my amazing colander. This is the stainless colander set. It comes with a 5-quart and a 2.5-quart bowl. Look at how cute these holes are. They're actual little spoons, like little happy spoons for Pampered Chef, which is super adorable. They nest. Another thing that's great about these is they have this elevated foot ring on the bottom so that it elevates your food in the sink when you're draining it and it's not gonna like get soggy. And then it's got these really nice soft handles. What else? Yes, and it comes as a set. I love these colanders. How cute. You deserve for your colanders to be cute like this. What do you think, Abby?
Yeah.
She's like, yeah.
Sorry, I was answering in the chat.
Okay.
I was answering the Q&A.
Gotcha. So we have in our classic batter bowl, now we have a whole pound of strawberries sliced. We have 3 tablespoons of sugar that is already in there. Look, you can tell how the sugar with the strawberries is already making them juicy and kind of like, make the strawberries kind of let go of some of their moisture. So it's already getting kind of wet and juicy. But cornstarch is going to be sort of your secret weapon in the strawberries. It's going to help thicken that mixture so that your crust doesn't get soggy. So you might be saying, why are you adding cornstarch? Again, it's kind of to thicken that sauce. You don't want that pie crust to get soggy while you're baking it or grilling it. Look at that, it's already looking great. All right, then we're gonna add about a tablespoon of lime with our citrus press. I like to go ahead and roll it on the counter. This is gonna help loosen the juice from the membrane. Some people pop it in the microwave. Put in the chat, what do you do? This is kind of like satisfying after a long day. Kind of get it rolling and moving. And you'll feel it kind of soften up. As we were kind of getting ready for this tonight, I was telling Abby that I love this juicer so much, and I gave it to a friend a couple months ago, and she said to me, I saw her a couple nights ago, she said, Sandy, I don't know how I lived without that juicer for so long. Look at how much juice it gets out. This recipe calls for a tablespoon, but I did a little extra. And again, if you could see, you want to put the flesh side down because that's where the holes come and that's where the most juice is going to come out. Still more, still coming. Okay, and then just a couple tablespoons of basil. Strawberry and basil. It's an unexpected combination, but it's so summery and I love the sweetness with the herbiness. This is the herb mill. So if you love to have herbs but don't necessarily love the slicing of them, look at how easy this comes out in just ribbons. So how does it work? There is a ball inside that's going to go down and weigh your herbs down. And there you go. You just get these perfect slices, ribbons of basil. You can use this with parsley, cilantro, my favorite. We're going to save a little bit of basil and then put it over the top when we're done. Look at this mixture, so easy. Oh, this is smelling amazing. Are you a fresh basil fan, Abby?
Yes.
Me too.
And I just used my juicer yesterday. I was using my fresh dill from my garden with some lemon.
Ooh.
It was really good.
What are we making? A little dip?
I made a little dip, with cream cheese, put it on crackers with cucumbers.
Oh,
It was really good.
sounds great. Next time you should do the cooking over here. We're gonna switch spots one time. Okay, so this is just backwards day, right? This is just a pie crust, just a refrigerated pie crust. Really easy. We're gonna roll this out. I don't need the trivet right now. You'll see where that comes in handy. This fits really nicely. When you're working with pie crust, I like to keep it in the fridge right about till the last minute because it could get kind of soft on you and hard to work with. Look at how good this is. So good. These are big strawberries, so I'm gonna leave just a few. Okay, so this is the fun part where you don't have to be perfect. You're just gonna start folding and kind of making little pleats and pinching it about every inch or two. This is so fun for this weekend because you're gonna see I'm gonna serve it with some ice cream. You could serve it with whipped cream, whatever you want. And then I'm gonna add some fresh blueberries for a little red, white, and blue spin. I don't know. How am I doing, guys? Put in the chat. I told you it was rustic and it doesn't need to be perfect.
How cute. Very cool.
Thanks, guys. Words of affirmation.
They're saying it's perfect, Sandy.
Yay! Look at that. That's looking really cute. Okay, we're not done yet. We are gonna add a little bit of butter. This is just a couple tablespoons, not a lot. It just really helps like the richness and mouthfeel. And the strawberries are pretty tangy, so the butter helps. You don't need a lot though. I might just call it right there. And then we're gonna do a little egg wash on the crust. So this is gonna give it that shine and a little bit of brownness. I don't know. I want to turn you guys into Team Galette. I'm going to switch you guys from Team Pie to Team Galette because I just think they're so easy. Of course, you could make this with your own homemade pie crust. We're just taking a little shortcut. This is our chef silicone basting brush. So nice for brushing oil, brushing butter, brushing egg wash.
What do you think about substituting mint instead of the basil, Sandy?
Love that idea. I so love that idea.
Wasn't mine, it was Deborah's.
Deborah. I love it. And it's 2 tablespoons inside the mixture, which is not a lot. And then you can put a little over the top when you're done baking it. Okay, and then last but not least, a little bit of sugar just over the crust to give it a little like shine along with that egg wash. Okay, how easy was that? This is gonna go, you can either bake this at 425 for about 28 to 30 minutes, or I'm a big fan of in the summertime, is put this in the grill. You're gonna put this over medium-high heat, covered in the grill, same amount of time, 28 to 30. You may wanna check your crust just to make sure it's not browning too quickly. So simple, but guess what? We already have one made. Let's check it out. Put it right here. Trivet, look how that fits so perfectly. And let's finish this off. So pretty. I didn't want to put the blueberries in because I didn't want to mess with the amount of filling, but how pretty is this over the top?
Someone in the chat said they have so many fresh blueberries, they're gonna make the galette with blueberries instead of the strawberries.
Why not? There you go. I know, aren't these pretty blueberries? They're kind of nice and plump and juicy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna add a little basil because I am a big fan. Actually, I'm gonna do the ice cream first. Oh, look at that, guys. Oh, did you hear that? That's like some ASMR. And there you go. You would just give it a slice, finish with some more fresh basil. All All right, Abby, we've shown them a lot of great products in just a few minutes. What do you say? Do we have anything exciting to share about these?
Well, yeah, so we have our Pampered Days sale event going on right now through the 12th, and we have so many summer entertaining products that are on sale. And you saw some of them just now. So the Simple Slice, the Quick Slice, the juicer, the sizzle skillet, the colander, those are all on sale. So reach out to your consultant for details to find out more about this sale. It's through the 12th. So limited time, and again, a lot of summer entertaining products that you don't want to miss out on these great offers. We also have our Taste Bud subscription on sale this month for 25% off. And you can get our 3 or 6 month subscription, and it's seasoning to your door with a recipe every single month. So Sandy and her team come up with brand new recipes every month to go with the Taste Bud subscription. And there's even an exclusive seasoning that comes with every single box every month. And the exclusive seasoning isn't available anywhere else in our line. So you get to try out new flavors and kind of be our taste testers. So Taste Buds is on sale, 25% off. Ask your consultant for details, and one of you today is going to go home with a Taste Buds box. So our winner is Keisha Owen. Congratulations, Keisha. We're gonna reach out to you via email after the show, and we'll get your shipping information so we can ship you a Taste Buds box, a one-time box. Congratulations.
Ooh. Back to me already? Okay, I'm almost ready. Okay, so this next little treat, like I said, call it a milkshake, call it a blended coffee. Smoothie, I'm not sure, but it's our white chocolate raspberry blended coffee. If you've never had a smoothie or a milkshake with, why am I pointing to the blender? I should be pointing to the Deluxe Coffee Machine. If you've never had one with coffee, it's great. It's kind of like you get a treat and then a boost of caffeine and energy all at once. So put in the chat if any of you have the Deluxe Coffee Machine. This is the second day that it's now available for all customers. We're so excited. I'm gonna blend some Nespresso in here quickly, but while I do, I'm gonna talk about some of the things I love. So as you see, it can do Nespresso pods. And then what I love about it is you can make 3 different types of coffee, kind of depending on your mood, I like to say. So in the morning, I like a big just cup of coffee, right? So I like to use either grounds, so this can do coffee grounds, decaf, regular, or K-cups. Or I'll do a K-cup, a nice big K-cup. K-cups, by the way, also come in hot chocolate and tea and cider and different variations, so that's kind of nice. But I'm gonna do this espresso 4 ounces. So really, Nespresso is just gonna be a lot stronger. So if you need a big kick, I forgot to mention, in the afternoon, I like to do an espresso, 2 or 4 ounces. Sometimes I pour it over ice, and it's just a great little afternoon pick me up. So we're gonna brew 4 ounces. It's already lit up. Just press start. Yum. A few other things I think that set this coffee machine apart is that the water is on the side of the machine versus on the back of the machine in a lot of other coffee machines. This is really easy. It's easy to pick up and refill. I'm not gonna do it right now because it's running. It's just a lot more convenient that way. And then on the side, when the other inserts aren't in use, they stash on the side over here. So again, you got Nespresso, K-cup, and ground coffee inserts for whatever mood you're in.
Yeah, whatever you want.
What are you, a hot chocolate kind of girl?
I like hot chocolate. I mean, we've talked about it before. I like an
espresso martini.
I like a sugary coffee drink. I'm not like a morning coffee person. I'm like more of a treat coffee person.
Got it.
Like what you just did earlier.
Yeah,
a treat.
And this treat. Okay. So in this recipe, you would take this and just put it in the fridge, maybe 10 or 20 minutes, but I have one ready for me already. So again, it looks like a little, but this packs a punch, right? When you get those espresso pods, they're pretty strong. All right, so in my Deluxe cooking blender, you guys are probably like, what is this drink she's making? But I promise you, it tastes good, and it looks pretty too. So I'm gonna go ahead and add my chilled coffee. I have a half a cup of raspberries. Okay, before I continue building my coffee milkshake treat, we're gonna pause to talk a little bit about liquid and dry measuring cups. So Pampered Chef is wonderful because we offer both options, liquid or wet for measuring cups and dry measuring cups. So the question is, can you use them interchangeably? What do you think, Abby? I keep interrupting. Do you think you can interchange them?
Sorry, I'm trying to answer questions
Okay.
about taste buds. No, do I think they're interchangeable? No, I know they're not, but I gotta be honest, I interchange them at home.
No, it's okay. They hold the same amount, but they're both made for different things. So when you're using the dry measuring cups, which, how amazing are these? They all nest together. So you're not losing them all over your drawer. And so do these too. What are you laughing at?
Because Erin said, shame on you, Abby.
Shame on you, Abby. No, we love you. For dry ingredients, right, you're usually scooping and leveling off. That's why they're designed this way. For liquid, so if you can see right here, what's so great about our measuring cups, they're called Easy Read. It's because they're easy to read and you don't have to go like this and look at the measure markings because you could see them straight on. But for liquid, you want to measure it to that line because if you were to measure it, let's say you wanted a quarter cup and you were to measure it up to here, it could spill, you're not quite sure how accurate it is. So you want to have those lines and something that's specifically for liquids. So the other way around, can you use a liquid for a solid? Not so much either because a lot of times your ingredients tend to kind of mound in the middle. It's hard to get like an even amount with that line. With something like a dry measuring scoop, you can kind of level it or kind of pack it in and you're gonna get more accurate. So that's my spiel on that. We're gonna add a half a cup of frozen raspberries. And that's also why you need both. I think it's really important to have both. We also have a half a cup of ice, quarter cup, in my liquid measuring cup of any type of milk. I have oat milk. And then a quarter cup of white chocolate chips. That's it. That's gonna go on custom blend for about 30 seconds, speed 3. Is that? We're gonna make a little raspberry whipped cream. I'll pour this into my cup first. How pretty is that? Okay. So, this is really actually a fun recipe. Usually when you make homemade whipped cream here in our whipped cream maker, you'd use heavy cream, powdered sugar, and vanilla. But today we're gonna substitute the powdered sugar and vanilla for some raspberry jam. So I've got 3/4 of a cup of heavy cream. I usually do about a cup, but because the jam is kind of like a liquid, you go a little bit down in whipped cream too. Do any type of jam. Are people intrigued by this drink, Abby?
Yes. We've had a couple questions about wanting to double it or triple it.
Yeah,
so
sure.
That's, don't just make it for yourself. Don't be selfish.
No,
Make it
you
for
could
everyone.
definitely double this.
You're getting a workout over there.
I know, I always do. I love making whipped cream in this thing. It's so satisfying and it tastes so good.
It's a good one for kids to help with too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And of course, with this new whipped cream maker and decorator, you can save your leftover whipped cream. So that's different from the previous one.
Can you freeze it if you're saving it? Would you freeze it or would you just keep it in the fridge?
You just keep it in the fridge. Yeah. Although frozen whipped cream, I'm sure would be delicious too.
Yeah.
Once it starts getting pretty pretty tough. Almost. Okay, once my arm really starts hurting, then I know I'm there. There we go. Okay, so then you're gonna switch it so that you can go ahead and pipe it. Oh yeah, that's good. I'm gonna put this piece on. Back in sort of an angle, I find helps. Unplug this little hole so it's pipeable. How pretty is that too? I do a lot to dress up this drink, but I thought the raspberry whipped cream was fun.
That looks so good.
Doesn't that look so good? Festive sprinkles. I don't know, guys. I'm ready. I'm ready for the long weekend. I'm officially ready now. How cute is this? Yeah?
Love it.
So fun. So guys, please put in the chat, what did you love seeing today? What did you learn? Maybe what do you have on your wish list after hearing about Pampered Days? Pampered Chef Days? Pampered Days. So cute. We are gonna answer a few questions, but Abby mentioned the survey at the end of this event. We'd love for you to take that survey and share about what can we do to continue to make these events great for you. Also, every Tuesday, there are live events. Contact your Pampered Chef consultant to find out how you can be a part of those, or go to the live events tab on our webpage. What else? Oh, after this, we would love to invite you to our Facebook page or Facebook Canada page to learn more about what it's like to be a Pampered Chef consultant. It's about 10 minutes. It's called an opportunity event, and we'd love to have you over there. The more the merrier around the Pampered Chef table. At 7:45. Yes, right after the event. Yeah. So, we got any questions?
We have no questions. The test kitchen team, and as you know, I was typing multiple times and I didn't know how to answer your questions.
Okay.
So, okay, we had a few people ask this, and now it's coming up again. So about the piping tip, it doesn't fit on our old whipped cream.
It does not. Nope, you need to get the new one.
Yep.
And again, this new one you could store whipped cream too, so that's another bonus feature of it.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it. Well, we want to wish you guys a very healthy, long weekend that's coming up.
Holiday week.
Oh yeah, we love that. Holiday week. Be safe. Hope you have fun with your friends and family. And thanks again for joining us. And we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.